Welcome to Glasgow, Scotland's largest city on the River Clyde. It's the center of the gymnastics world as everyone assembles at the SSE Hydro Arena to find out who is the best. This arena is lit so dramatically, and it's a perfect stage for the women's all-around final, and we'll document the men as well. You're looking at Gabby Douglas, part of the Fierce Five. Al Troutwig, Tim Daggett, and Nastia Lukin, a pair of Olympic gold medalists here. And Gabrielle Douglas is trying to do what Nastia did, and Tim did come back to the Olympic Games.
And that's hard to do. But a great start for Gabby Douglas. She has done carbon copy-like work on vaulting at these World Championships. Just beautiful height in the air. A great landing, the smallest of slides back, but this is a tremendous start. I don't know where they get any form deductions on that at all.
Nastia, can she win this?
That's going to be very difficult to win, I think, when you have Simone Biles, who is, back-to-back world champion, going for her third, but she's definitely in medal contention.
Julia Steingruber of Switzerland
actually qualified in second, and that's a beautiful vault as well. Shades of Alicia Sacramone on that, a handspring laid out front somersault with 1.5 twist. As I said, she was the second highest all-around qualifier, won the European Championships this year on vault. And just that small little, not even a step, she just picked the foot up. This is where she shines, though.
15.6, that is huge.
Big number.
So what is the next 10 months going to be like for Simone Biles?
Well, it's going to be hard. I think when you are so on top of the world, like she is right now, going for her third world all-around title, to stay up there is even harder.
Really difficult vault right here. Wow. And a really great vault, but you look at that face right there, she is not happy with that one bit. A hop and then a step forward. Coach Amy Borman, she always takes the approach of trying to say something positive first, which works for Simone, she says. This is a great vault, huge height, little leg crossover, but you see the hop and then a step. Everyone she's done in competition so far has been better than that one right there.
One thing Gabby will tell Simone is that in the next 10 months, the business of gymnastics will become a big part of what happens, and that can be distracting.
Simone just recently announcing that she's going pro. She had made a commitment to UCLA, but decided to pass that opportunity up.
Wow.
Yeah, 15.833, but she's capable of getting about a 16.0 on that vault.
But, I mean, just visually looking at it, it didn't look like it was that high.
Right. It's just such a hard vault.
Flavia Saraiva of Brazil, and is next August going to be a big time for her, or what, if she can get there?
Well, the thing about the team from Brazil is they had a lot of positive things happening, kind of decimated by injury, and they did not earn an automatic berth. They'll have to go to the test event and qualify as a team in April. Oh, jeez. Flavia is one of their rising stars. Absolutely adorable. She's so tiny. She was staying in the same hotel as I was in Glasgow, and unbelievable how petite she is. But for her, it's all about experience, because that fall on the beam in the all-around finals, she's completely out. right off the bat.
That experience will definitely be useful next year if they are able to qualify, having an Olympics in their home country.
And I thought they were going to do it, but just fell a little bit short, and another fall. That's a major fall right there. Her dismount. She's got a very bright future in gymnastics.
It's just a disappointing present right now. So we're just getting started here in Glasgow. So far, Gabby Douglas looking good in the women's all-around final at the 2015 World Gymnastics Championships. The World Gymnastics Championships presented by AT&T are brought to you by Pantene. Strong is beautiful. By Kellogg's. See you at breakfast. And by AT&T. Mobilizing your world. 2015 World Gymnastics Championships. Right now, the women's all around. And they come in all shapes and sizes. Shang Chun Song on the very petite side, as Tim would say, from China.
And you know, she told me after the first day of competition here that she was basically petrified out on the floor in the qualifying. The Chinese women and she did much better in the team final. They earned that silver medal behind the USA.
This is where the Chinese have always been very good. See, extremely difficult release move combination.
This is a long way to go from that low bar to the high bar because she is so tiny. A little bit of walking around on that bar, though.
Watch these turns. She lands right on top of the bar into an immediate release move. What makes it so difficult is these skills are back to back, so if she's off on anything, beautiful dismount.
Really great start for her.
And remember the travails on the balance beam. Flavia Saraiva of Brazil at 12.226. You do not come back from that. Yan of China. Interesting to see the Chinese not all wearing the same color.
Yeah, that's funny. You know, they have in the team competitions, it's a requirement that everybody wears the exact same thing. A lot of times the men mix it up, but
it always irritated me, Nastia, that you wore pink, by the way. It really irritated me.
I've heard that from many people.
She is one of the new faces for Team China.
She actually fell in the team final, so hopefully she'll be able to redeem herself here.
Very difficult, front with a half. We'll see Simone Biles do one of those later on. So if it looks like she's being careful, a little too tentative, then it typically means that you're losing tenths of a point because you're not connecting things together. Oh. Golly, she does that like as good, if not better, than anybody in the world. She punches the beam, so her body flies, you know, a foot higher than most athletes, but when you're in the air like that, the longer you are away from the beam, the bigger the risk that you've got.
No, I don't care what sport you're watching. Balls get dropped. Baseball pitches get thrown over guys' heads. Pressure does weird things.
I probably saw her do about 7 absolutely perfect balance beam routines in training. And, you know, I only saw a very small portion of her training. A nice triple twist. But as you said, you got to be able to do it on game day.
So the postmortem with a shake of the head. Yeah, I know. Shan Chung-sung, 15.166. Puts her fourth right now.
That's a good score for her. She can be a little bit better than that, though.
Now, we've got a little redemption that needs to go on here for Romania.
This was from the qualifying meet, and unthinkably, Iordache and Romania have to earn a spot to the Olympic Games at the qualifying meet. It's historic in its proportions, but this young lady, she had a disastrous meet, like I said, but she is a contender. Watch this right here, super difficult. Nicely done. She's the reigning all-around silver medalist. So even though Romania didn't qualify, you can't count her out, that's for sure.
Not only is this redemption for herself, but also for her team and her country.
In the mixed zone after the competition where Romania did not qualify, she wasn't crying, she was sobbing. Because it really is unthinkable. No way had she or anybody on the Romanian delegation thought that they wouldn't qualify. They had a late substitution with the great Catalina Ponar pulling out.
Think about it. When she was young and very impressionable, all she saw was Romanian
dominance.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great start for Larissa Iordache. She truly is one of the class acts in women's world gymnastics right now. Very difficult. Back with a full. She fell on that in the team championships.
7th spot right now, just under 15. Wang Yan, 13.8, 10th, as we continue here in Glasgow, Scotland. The ISU Grand Prix of figure skating continues in Canada as U.S. champion Ashley Wagner and Olympic silver medalist Patrick Chan take on the world's best, Skate Canada, today at 4:30 Eastern on NBC. So we're back in this very cool-looking arena in Glasgow, Scotland, watching the best in women's gymnastics. The current leader is Simone Biles, to, I guess, no one's surprise right now. She's going for a 3rd straight world championship. And she's got some American company in the standings. Gabby Douglas right there, trying to get back to the Olympic Games next August in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Julia Steingruber and Shan Chung-sung, we've seen both of them also in the competition. Al Trautwig, along with Olympic gold medalists Tim Daggett and Nastia Liukin. And we'll begin with Steingruber. Nastia, do you believe she can finish on the podium here today?
She definitely has a chance. You know, I think especially in the last year, she's really improved her difficulty, and her execution is great. So we'll see if she's able to hold on to that.
She actually won her biggest title, a European all-around championships, this year in 2015. First Swiss female gymnast to ever do that. Little bit of a fumble on that pirouette in the handstand position. Now, if she gets through this event, it's kind of a lot more smooth sailing for her. And she has.
Suka Teramoto from Japan, where gymnastics has largely been a male thing.
But they looked really good here. Ended up 5th. Beautiful. Same vault we saw Steingruber do a little bit earlier, but she's such a small little person. A lot of times you see athletes like that, they can't compress the board enough to do those powerful vaults.
And Steingruber right now definitely in the mix.
13.9 though, like I said, she's through bars and she's got another power event and beam where she can be a little stronger as well.
So what happens to Simone Biles on New Year's Eve?
You know, for me, it was kind of, as soon as the clock struck, I thought this is it. An Olympic Olympic year, something you've been dreaming about pretty much your entire life.
She'll do a tricky combination right here. A release and then transition down to the low. Very nicely done.
You know, the uneven bars used to be an event that Simone absolutely dreaded. She's improved quite a bit.
Oh, and a great landing. I think that's the best I've seen her do in Glasgow. Getting ready for her dismount right here. And that was great. A perfect landing. She lands with her chest way up. No deductions possible.
Still in first place with a 14.9.
That's a very good score for Simone Biles on uneven bars.
Seda Tukalian of Russia. Is she the next Russian star?
Well, she did win the Youth Olympic Games just last year in the all-around and definitely has some promising talent.
There were a lot of shocking things that happened at these Worlds, though. You know, we've talked about Romania. We talked about Brazil not making it as a team. Well, Russia finished off the platform. They did not medal in the team championships, and they did not look good here at all. Very nice routine right there. They are desperately in need of some redemption as well. In the all-around finals, they have some athletes that will compete for individual championships as well.
Laura Yerka of Romania.
Very nice. A little bit of form in the air, but the result is excellent. Great landing. You know, I fully expect Romania, without a doubt, to make it to the Olympics. They just got to go to that test event.
You know, we've seen it in the history of every sport. Great coaches are great coaches. When Russia had a great coach, they were great. When Romania had a great coach, they were great. When Team USA had a great coach, they are great. And what happens after that is anybody's guess.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. That looked like she might have punched out of bounds. Oh, boy.
Under-rotated that 2.5 twist.
The head of the Chinese program, Wang Yubin, he told me that the main goal was to come here for the women and qualify. He was very happy with the silver medal. He said it was imperative that gymnasts like this right here earn some valuable experience going into Rio.
You know, it's a little interesting to me that their goal would be just to qualify. In previous years, the Chinese team has really dominated.
That's what I was going to say.
And now, you know, still obviously a silver medal is great, but even to set that bar pretty low is a little shocking.
Laura Yerka, fourth spot right now. Here's Elsabeth Black from Canada. First time we've seen her today.
And she has achieved the highest ranking of any Canadian gymnast at a world championship. She was 9th last year in Nanning, China. Overtook Victoria Moore. I hear Simone in the back cheering on her friend. Ellie was at the American Cup this past year. Unusual dismount in today's competitive world.
But a stuck landing always makes it look good. So Simone Biles remains in front at the 2015 World Gymnastics Championships presented by AT&T. Getting set for the Olympic all-around champion, Gabby Douglas. She's in a spot she could medal here today, couldn't she, Nastia?
She absolutely could, and this event for her is really great.
And it's where she could actually overtake a little bit of that lead that Simone has on her. Right here, very tricky combination, does it well. Has been one of the most consistent athletes as of late. It just looks like that almost every single time. You know, it's amazing because I believe it was 8 months ago was the first time she came back to the international scene to compete. So it's a pretty remarkable recovery back from basically she was retired. This has gotten better. Nice position in the air. Just that small little, I wouldn't even call that a hop, I'd call that a bounce. 1/10 of a point.
From her tired to looking like she could play any sport on earth she wanted. Ellie Black of Canada got a 14, by the way. She's in the top 10, it looks like. Mai Murakami of Japan.
Biggest test right here. Beautiful. Japan was great. They were 5th as a team, which is an accomplishment for them, but Maya fell off on the beam in the team final, scored only a 12.2. Her glance over at the clock to see how much time she has left. Could disguise that a little better. Double pike, small hop, a really good routine for her today, though.
Nastia, well before your time, I remember when Dorothy Hamill's haircut in the Olympic Games as a figure skater influenced millions of young women. I could see that hairstyle influencing many young women in Japan. I could be wrong. Gabby Douglas still in the podium consideration.
And she does gain that little bit on Simone.
Murakami outside of the top 10 right now. Shang Chung Song was, we stay on the beam. Can she stay on the beam?
Absolutely. This is challenging right here. Very nicely done. They seem to like rebound though. It's like she looked perfectly fine and that leg just pops up on the landing.
Tim, as you said earlier, they are just absolutely stunning on the balance beam in training, and when they get to the competition, sometimes it's not the same. They have been struggling a little bit with their consistency.
She may look super young, but This is actually her 3rd World Championships, if you can even imagine that. That was done very nicely. That double turn.
Very difficult to do.
Yeah, many a gymnast has fallen on that. Great gymnast.
Doesn't seem as sure of herself, again, as she typically is in the training. But a hit routine,
yeah,
so she'll definitely take that.
Absolutely. She's had a good start on the uneven bars. Beam's good. She's got a good floor X coming up. Where she struggles is on that last event. She'll do vault. She has a very low starting or maximum score.
Larissa Yardaki on the floor exercise.
Now, she did not do in the team qualification, did not do her big tumbling run that comes right here. A double twisting, double somersault. I thought it was a mistake. Does it right there.
About watching her, and I know others do, is her expressions and her artistry, especially on the floor exercise. Much better day for her today than she had in the qualifying round.
Well, that sort of screamed out, "Don't count me out," didn't it?
Absolutely. Remember, she won the silver at the last World Championships in Nanning, China. So you liked that double turn to an illusion, didn't you?
That was
pretty
beautiful.
Cool, right?
You don't really see too many of those combinations in artistic gymnastics.
So here's the mount that she didn't do in the qualifying. They were playing it safe, and that did not work out well for Romania. This very difficult double twisting double. See that 1-4 foot precariously close to being out of bounds.
And that will put her right now in 5th. So Simone Biles has the lead. Shang Chung-Tsung is in medal contention right now, which would be a really big deal for China. And so is Gabby Douglas. When we come back, Simone Biles mounts the always contentious beam here in Glasgow, Scotland. So we're at the midway point of the women's all-around final at the 2015 World Gymnastics Championships. And it's America 1-2, Simone Biles and Gabby Douglas. The lead is about 4/10. And then Shang Chung-Tsung of China, Julia Steingruber of Switzerland, Larissa Yardaki of Romania. We've seen them all here in the competition. But every time a gymnast stands in front of the beam, you just wonder what's going to happen up there.
Well, these next two events for Simone are really great, and her difficulty level on both of the events, she really gives herself an advantage over the other competitors.
I called her this summer the most dominant female athlete in the world, and I'm still alive. Ronda Rousey hasn't come to my house to beat me up. Beautiful front with a half right there, but I truly believe that she is, because she doesn't just win competition. She hasn't lost in like 2.5 years. And one of the main reasons, as Nastia said, is she comes to the meet with way higher of a potential starting score through the 4 events than anybody else. Oh. And that's pretty shocking right there, folks. That her grabbing the beam like that. major deduction. I don't know how she stayed on the beam, to be perfectly honest.
You know, I think most gymnasts would have probably chosen to hop right off, but she saved it.
Wow, that was an amazing save, but it's a very large deduction.
But the save helps the score, right?
The save helps the score, yes, a little bit, but it also helps her brain, though, you know? Big dismount right here. Hard after that fall for most people, but not for Superwoman right there. So watch this. She is just way off, has to grab the balance beam, which is a deduction. Then she stands up, has that lean forward again, another deduction.
And there is exactly what Tim was explaining. Even with the mistake, her score is a 14.4, and still she remains in first place. Seda Tukalian of Russia.
I hate to bring this back up again here, but Russia had just a, oh, jeez. Super difficult. Back with a full and laid out position, but just like that, in the qualifying and the team finals, Russia was not good. All three of their gymnasts fell from the balance beam in the team championships. One of the main reasons why Russia finished off the podium in fourth place.
Very unusual for her also to be the only Russian competitor in the all-around finals. We're used to seeing two.
Yeah, we're seeing two, and a third one that would have made it if not for the two per country rule.
I would like to have been in the room where they decided that women gymnasts should do the balance beam. Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Shang Shunsong, she's in medal contention.
She's got two really interesting passes. One of them, she'll do a 3.5 twist and rebound out of it, super difficult, and then a jam-packed routine of tumbling in her second pass.
Very difficult 3.5 twist.
She's supposed to do that front flip in the piked position, though, so she can do this next pass. I don't know what she's going to do here. Doesn't want to repeat that tucked front at the end of this grueling pass right here. And she does it piked, which is
very smart,
yeah,
to be able to figure out what to do quickly.
Yeah, you know, the tumbling is really hard for her. She gets it accomplished, but I think really what happens is the tumbling is so challenging that they don't really go for the artistry and the choreography. It's just, it's very minimal.
There's a certain maturity that needs to sell floor exercise, don't you think?
Yeah, but, you know, it's her third world championships. She's pretty mature.
Tukalian 12.4. That's going to hurt big time. Back to Larissa Yordaki. Can she get into medal contention for herself. It happens in seconds.
This is a walk in the park for her. Double twisting Yurchenko. Not as difficult as we saw from Simone Biles. The same exact vault we saw Gabby Douglas do. Not quite as well done, though. She has a little bit of a pike in her hips. Her body should remain completely laid out throughout this. You see the pike right there, and then a much bigger slide back on that landing.
Ooh, she's right there. That puts her second right now with a 15.066. .533. What is that?
Hello Kitty.
A little Hello Kitty there.
Of course. Laura Yerka of Romania.
Nice release. This is the event where Romania really struggles.
As they did in the qualification.
That was great, though, right there in combination.
Beautiful.
There was talk from the Romanian Olympic president of an investigation to look at exactly what went wrong here in Glasgow. Romania has looked solid today, though.
I mean, what, like there was criminal wrongdoing?
Well, he considered it unacceptable.
Wow. Simone Biles still in front. She's playing a different game than everybody else. 2015 World Gymnastics Championships presented by AT&T. And this is Elizabeth Ellie Black from Canada. She's in the mix.
And she has an advantage here because she competed in the 2014 Commonwealth Games. It was held in this building, and she won balance beam at that championships. Team Canada was ecstatic with their qualification to the team championships and their automatic berth to the Rio Olympic Games.
Nastia, was this the hardest thing you ever did, balance beam?
Not for me. I don't know why I always thought balance beam was the easiest. For me, it was always vault. But I think in this situation, in the all-around finals, going up on the balance beam when you know you're at that halfway point, and
oh boy.
I was just about to say, if you can make it through the balance beam, it's almost like a home run.
I'll tell you, the athletes that are doing the super difficult tumbling on beam have been very unsuccessful at these world championships. And it's a big risk to do a back handspring into that back somersault with the added full twist, and risk and reward, it didn't work out for Ellie on that. Two and a half, a little bit under on that, but that's minor compared to that fall. That'll be a 3/10 step in the fall.
Her body language tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah. So here it is right here. Little bit hips maybe off to the left side on the landing.
It's a 13.3 that knocks her off the podium. Now to American Gabby Douglas, who has a bad memory from qualifying.
It's that same skill, back somersault with a full twist, however done standing, no back handspring in front of it. It's almost impossible to make those memories vanish. They just stay with you when it happens on such a large stage like this.
And she didn't do beam in the team final, so this is really the next competition after that for her.
Very nicely done. But here we go. So a back flip. She adds a twist. That was very good. One thing I really like about the U.S. athletes is they might have a mistake like that, but it never gets them to retreat. They always still do all of their stuff. They don't water down, and I think that's the best strategy. You see some of the other countries, they have problems, and instantly things fly out of their routines.
You know, it seems like she's just a little bit nervous in talking. As we said earlier, you know, the balance beam is kind of that one that you just want to make sure you can get through and stay on the beam, and she's not quite as sure of herself as she has typically been in the past.
Well, she certainly survived that, and now she just has floor left, and she is on the podium as of right now, and it'll be hard to knock her off. And you hear that giggle from Simone. That is real. Look at this. The back flip with a full twist, and she was a little bit off, but she did a good job of holding on to that.
You know, Simone's got the giggle. Gabby seems all business.
She does.
To Kalian of Russia. Change in her score.
Still won't quite help her get on the podium.
She's out of the top 10 right now. So we're nearing the end of the third rotation. Here's Julia Steingruber. Her day is going to come down to tenths. That's going to be the difference.
Oh, jeez.
And there it goes.
Beam has been treacherous today. Wow. She's typically a very consistent performer. Simone Biles was the only athlete that finished ahead of her in qualifying for the all-around finals. She is basically women's gymnastics in Switzerland. She's won just about every single event, every title since about 2011.
Didn't quite get that all the way around. It's supposed to be a switch leap with a half turn.
Her dismount right here. Looks a little bit easy. It's actually called a Steingruber. She got it named after herself because she competed at the World Championships.
It looks a little bit easy.
Well, compared to Simone Biles and her dismount.
That was not a dismount right there. That was a fall, a point off.
And that probably means a medal for Julia Steingruber of Switzerland. So the women now head to the final rotation. And for Gabby Douglas and Simone Biles, that means the floor exercise where they're usually very comfortable. This is the 2015 World Gymnastics Championships.
Harm from lead poisoning. If you went to Kennedy Krieger Institute for lead testing, call the Yost Legal Group at 1-800-YOST-LAW.
There is no fee or expense unless you recover. Call 1-800-YOST-LAW.
Everything you need to know. Maryland's News Now with Brian Neiman.
Gas prices seem to be extremely low right now.
Number one for breaking news, weather, and traffic.
Some dicey weather, though, for the weekend.
WBAL News Radio 1090.
Why Maryland hospitals are facing ER gridlock. Monday.
From the executive producer of Chicago Fire and Chicago PD comes the next great drama in the City of Heroes. Chicago Med premieres Tuesday, November 17th on NBC. So here are the standings heading to the fourth and final rotation. Ooh, that's a juicy thought for Gabby Douglas. 10 months out of the Olympic Games to come back to the sport and come back to the World Championships and get a silver medal. Simone Biles looking for a third in a row, and it's pretty tight between Shang Chun-Song and Larissa Iordache of Romania. Zeta Tukalian of Russia. Safe to say Russia's got some work to do.
Oh, absolutely, especially as they look ahead. You know, I'm not sure they've ever quite found themselves in this position as they have been at this World Championships.
And you know, they are without their team leader, former world all-around champion, Aliyah Mustafina, who's recovering from actually quite a few different injuries, back, knee.
You know, the Russians have always had such great artistry in the previous years, and this year it's just there's something really lacking.
Shang Chun-Song completed her vault.
Shang Chun-Song. China could use a little leadership too.
Yeah, they just are gonna try to survive this event though. Do really clean work, because that, whoa, big step forward too, has a very low maximum score. So they're gonna start out from a 15.0 for her, where Simone Biles, once again the difficulty, she starts from a 16.3. She pikes down, very big step forward. But a tremendous day for Shang Chun-Song in the all-around. She really did herself a solid.
First for now, it won't last. The big hitters are still to come. Now the numbers don't look good for Ellie Black, but this is a gotta-have-it moment if she has any chance.
Those athletes that has been doing Olympics, once you go, a lot of people really want to go back. She fits into that category. That was great.
Such a sucker for that maple leaf. You put it on something red and white, it looks great. So now imagine you're Larissa Iordache, and when you were 4 and 5 and 6, you watched on television, and all you remember is gymnasts from your country getting medals placed around your neck. And now that reputation and that memory has really taken a hit. And yet, in this moment, you have a chance to make it happen again.
For herself. First release, that was nicely done.
She struggled on this event in the qualifying round.
Actually, she came off on this skill right here. Gets it that time. Nice dismount, hop forward, and really happy for this young lady.
Looks like they think they've done it.
Devastation after the qualifying, sobbing while talking to the press. Smiles today.
We'll check out the scores. Black is, well, she's in the top 3 for now, but Gabby Douglas and Simone Biles still to come. The events floor in front of Gabby Douglas, the Olympic all-around champion, trying to get back to Rio. It's now just 10 months away. She looks like she's in great shape, and she's definitely in great shape to win a medal here today.
And that is not easy to do. Kyla Ross, who has won an all-around medal at the last 2 World Championships, who was on that 2012 team with Gabby, not good enough to make the trip because of how great Team USA is.
This is what I was talking about that is what's missing from the Russian team and so many of the other teams, the energy, the passion, the expression.
A little bit of sass, too.
Something we didn't necessarily see in London from Gabby Douglas.
Well, Gabby, you got another medal. That is for sure. It's just what color it's going to be.
Bella Caroli, Marta Caroli, and the rest of USA Gymnastics watching with tremendous pride.
Good job.
Simone Biles waiting for her turn to shine. And look at this. She's going to do it. She knows now that Larissa Yordaki is going to slide past Chung Song of China and take a medal home to Romania.
Tears of joy today. It's nice to see.
It's just not to be for her on this day.
But she's happy because best all-around meet I've ever seen her have.
Yeah, and she really needs to upgrade her vault like we had just seen her do on the last event. It's not quite the difficulty as all the other gymnasts.
And now Gabby Douglas realizes she's going to take something great home. But she also knows that Simone Biles is still to come, and she has a very impressive lead.
That looks so easy, but let me tell you, that pass is probably one of the hardest passes to do on the floor exercise.
Well, it's in Simone's routine, so that tells you how hard it is.
Well, for Steingruber, it wasn't just that mistake on the balance beam, because she's going to miss by more than a point, but that was a big part of it.
Started with the full twisting double straight somersault.
Definitely a top contender, though. Without the fall, she would have been. It would have been close. This is her 4th World Championships, actually. And watch this tumbling here. It is beautiful. That's her, not her first tumbling pass either. Double laid out somersault. She did the first one with a full twist.
She can't be happier. So Steingruber is going to be in what is always the worst spot for now, 4th. The just miss spot.
Well, she's not going to stay there.
Great finish, though. I mean,
absolutely.
Okay, this is it for an unprecedented 3rd straight World Championship.
That's on her skill. It's called a Biles. On the leap afterwards, she leapt right out of bounds.
But she has a cushion to absorb that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Well, she has so many great ways of rising off the apparatus, so whether it's floor or beam.
And yes, she had that small error, but without doubt, that's history right there. That is 3 in a row for Simone Biles. No question about it. She is the world champion again.
What a team they could be.
She's a really happy-go-lucky kid, but she also doesn't like making mistakes at all. And this right here, this is her move, as I said. It's called a Biles. She leaps right out of bounds.
What happened there, Nastia?
Well, she simply just had a little bit of too much power. Over-rotated her skill, the Biles, and leaped right out of bounds.
Just is able to create so much power. Now just look at how easy this is to get around.
Not to mention, as her 3rd tumbling pass, a lot of people do that as just their first.
And they are scrounging like heck to get to their feet. This is her dismount. It's like magic when you watch her tumble on floor. It's almost too powerful. Love the bouncing around out there.
Yeah, she really uses the structure of the floor itself. And just waiting for the confirmation. And there you go. There's your world all-around champion, Simone Biles of the United States. one's ever seen what she is. 3 straight. So you've got the Olympic champion with a high five as if to say to Simone Biles, come on, let's go back to the Olympics and do it together.
And you know, I'm not sure that this has ever happened before. Gabby Douglas, Olympic all-around champion, coming back the year before the Olympics, winning a silver medal, and of course you got Simone Biles, her teammate.
And completing the story is Larissa Iordache of Romania for the bronze. We've always thought it's the coolest thing you can say, that you are the best in the world. The World Gymnastics Championships, presented by AT&T, are brought to you by Pantene. Strong is beautiful. By Hilton. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Well, a record-setting day in Glasgow, Scotland. Simone Biles with a never-before-seen 3 straight world titles, and Gabby Douglas with a silver after winning the Olympic gold. Here they are, describing the day.
I think the best event today was bars, which is very surprising. And then beam, I think I gave the whole world a heart attack, as well as myself up there. And then floor, I'd never gone out of bounds, but I guess there's a first for everything.
I really wanted to prove everyone that, you know, my comeback was real and it wasn't fake. It wasn't for the fame or anything. And I really wanted to come out here with confidence and really wanted to show everyone that I was back. And I was back for the right reasons. You know, I really wanted it from my heart. And, you know, I think I did tonight, and it was just so exciting. But I'm happy right now.
So some history is set and some things are told. For the future, it will be in Rio in the sport of gymnastics. And we know this is to everybody try and catch Simone Biles, and everybody try and catch Kohei Uchimura. Up next, after 23 years, Formula One returns to Mexico. It's the Mexican Grand Prix presented by Johnny Walker. For Tim Daggett and Nastia Lukin, I'm Al Trawick. Thanks for joining us on NBC.